Leanne Carter, and welcome to my EdTech reflection video. As another exciting chapter comes to a close in my life, I'm excited to say that this adventure has been amazing. In about 3 years of teaching, I decided to start my Master's in Educational Technology. I was at a point in my life where I wasn't really sure where I wanted to take my education career, and I'm happy to say that after 7 years of teaching, and after almost completing my master's degree, educational technology is the right path for me.
To better understand my path, let's go back a few years prior to the start of my degree. After finishing my Bachelor of Education, I decided to go back to where I was born, in England, and gain some experience by supply teaching there. After my year abroad, I came back to Alberta, Canada to teach grade 6 French immersion. With my experience learning how to use smartboards in the UK, I was one of the first in my district to receive one in my classroom and was asked to train other teachers. The following year, I was the school's technology representative, and I really enjoyed this because I was challenged and I got to bring some really neat things that I learned back to the classroom, starting with creating a classroom website. As much as I loved teaching at this school and in this district, I was in a long-distance relationship and decided to relocate to Ottawa, Ontario, where I was hired to teach at a bilingual international private school. During this time, I became interested in what technology could accomplish outside of the traditional classroom teaching. I turned my focus to understand technology uses in education and became hungry for knowledge and for developing my skills in this area. I based my initial research on looking to whom I saw as leaders in this area, some of which were not even teachers. One of them was helping develop virtual schools across the African continent, which greatly interested me, and I researched further. This research led me indirectly to discovering the Master's in Educational Technology program at Boise State University, which I immediately thought could not be more perfect for me. In January 2012, I began my journey. I knew immediately upon beginning that I had found what I was looking for. I began to take on more technology-related responsibilities in the school where I was working. I also introduced my school to social media for advertising purposes, and I began to branch out and develop various new skills. I was then given an amazing opportunity to go teach technology and be the school's technology integration and support specialist on Tortola in the British Virgin Islands. This was an incredible experience, and it opened my eyes to a lot of challenges that some schools are faced with. One of the biggest challenges was that I, myself, and the students relied so much on technology and the internet. However, it would often not work given the island infrastructure. I therefore learned new approaches to teaching technology. It was a very adventurous year, and now I'm back in Ottawa, teaching technology to the whole school, collaborating with teachers to integrate technology into their units, training teachers, adapting school policies, and helping the school become an authorized IB middle school. While completing my Master's in Educational Technology, I found something meaningful that was able to help me as a teacher, coordinator, trainer, or consultant in each one of my courses.
In EdTech 501, I was introduced to the creative application Animoto, which I then began to use when putting presentations together for parent evenings and special events. I learned how to create a technology school plan, which then led me to register the school with Google Education apps and helped me to implement a one-on-one laptop program and eventually a school iPad program. I was also introduced to WordPress to create my learning log. After learning about how to put together an e-portfolio for myself, I then had my students create one. Over the past few years, I have altered the way students have put together the e-portfolios, and this year, following my school's PYP evaluation, I've worked on school e-portfolio policy. The piece of work I'm most proud of from this course is my introduction video that I created at the beginning of this course. I really feel like I challenged myself right from the beginning using tools such as my iMovie and screencasting to create my video. EdTech 502 was an exciting course for me because one of my goals for this program was to better understand HTML and CSS and what it takes to build an attractive website. Skills developed in this course have allowed me to participate in the redesigning of my current school's website. Further to being introduced to Adobe Creative Suite, I also gained an appreciation for the amount of time it takes to create instructional content from scratch. I really enjoyed this course and discovered that website development is something I enjoy, and I would like to spend time further developing skills in this area. The piece of work I'm most proud of from this course is my EdTech 502 homepage. I feel like I put a lot of time and effort into this piece of work to create something that reflects my personality. When I took EdTech 503, I had just begun working on the school's yearbook with my students. The students were required to use GIMP photo editing software and Scribus publishing software to create their yearbook pages. Therefore, I chose to create instructional material for this course to teach my students how to use GIMP. I discovered that creating instructional material is something that I really enjoy and can be interesting exploring as a career. The piece of work I'm most proud of from this course is my final instructional design project. I feel that EdTech 504 was probably one of the most challenging, but most rewarding courses for me to take throughout this journey. I'm really glad I took this course in my second to last semester at BSU because it allowed me to apply skills and knowledge developed through my journey and use references from readings done in several of my courses. A turning point for me in this course, a semester away from graduation, was the realization that in some ways, I felt like my learning had just begun. I'd been considering applying for the Doctorate of Education in Educational Technology at Boise State, and after I began learning how to write an academic paper, I knew I wanted to continue my studies. The piece of work I'm most proud of is my final synthesis paper, E-Learning and the Cognitive Theory of Multimedia. Through this course, I was able to develop proper research, citation, and reference skills that allowed me to bring together what I had learned in all my classes prior to taking this course. EdTech 505 introduced me to the procedures for evaluating educational programs. I learned about the amount of work and effort that goes into evaluating a project. Once I began this course, I also took the time to evaluate the day-to-day things I would do with the students. The practical research and experience put into the evaluation project and evaluation proposal, I feel this is a quality I can add on to my consultancy services. What I also appreciated from this course is that we were encouraged to share what we learned in our readings each week in a creative manner. Therefore, I took the time to explore 2 new presentation tools, Powtoon and GoAnimate. The piece of work that I am most proud of in this course is my iPad evaluation. A few of my other goals for this program were to expand my knowledge by developing e-coursework and curricula that would allow me to teach students from around the world, to learn what it takes to be an online educator and how to prepare and organize an online course. Therefore, in addition to completing a master's in educational technology, I also took advantage of the opportunity to complete the requirements to receive a graduate certificate in online teaching. In order to meet these prerequisites, I chose to take EdTech 512 and EdTech 522. In EdTech 512, I created my very first online course in Moodle. I was introduced to all the instructional elements required in designing an online course. My project, DIY Entrepreneurship, was created for my high school students to help prepare them for their future. The idea behind this course was to provide a learning opportunity for students to develop entrepreneurship skills that would allow them to build a foundation with a view to creating a business. The course was designed to allow students to investigate what it takes to start up a business and design, plan, create, and evaluate their own business. I really enjoyed building my own course and my own content. This experience also reinforced the idea in me pursuing a teaching career online. As my journey continued, I began to do more staff training and work one-on-one with teachers. Through these experiences, it became very clear that not only did I want to teach online, but I wanted to inspire future educators by teaching courses similar to the courses I took as part of my EdTech degree. Therefore, I took EdTech 522, Online Teaching for Adult Learners. One of the most significant learning experiences for me during this course was completing the Compare and Evaluate online course assignment. By doing this activity, I was introduced to edX and got to explore a different way of online learning. And because I really like to design and teach online courses as a career, this activity allowed me to go back and pinpoint areas that need improvement from the course I designed in EdTech 512. EdTech 522 also allowed me to further my knowledge in what is required to build an online classroom. It allowed me to create courseware and explore different activities in an online environment, and it guided me on how to use Web 2.0 tools in my online classroom. I also appreciated learning more from peers who currently teach adult learners. The piece of work I'm most proud of is my DIY promotional video with iMovie in it that I also created in Moodle. In addition to the core courses and courses required for my graduate certificate in online teaching, I had an opportunity to explore some additional areas of educational technology. In all honesty, if given the opportunity, I would take all the elective courses available. EdTech 513 was one of my favorite and most useful courses. In this course, I produced a series of multimedia projects. As someone who gives and makes a lot of presentations, I'm very appreciative for the knowledge and skills I developed in creating very successful and powerful presentations. I would also love to help design online curriculum one day. I can apply the knowledge and skills gained in this course to successfully complete engaging online material. I also found the course reading content valuable, and is what inspired me for my topic for my EdTech 504 final synthesis paper. As part of the multimedia projects created for this course, I created an instructional video and podcast that I used as part of my instructional material for my unit in EDTECH 503. The piece of work that I'm most proud of from this course is my digital story, The Journey. I also challenged myself to use iMovie on the iPad for this project, which has led me to use iMovie on the iPad to create digital stories with my students. Another one of my favorite and challenging courses was EdTech 531, where I was introduced to various different virtual worlds such as Minecraft, Second Life, Cloud Party, 3D Game Lab, and World of Warcraft. We as students in the class tackled the course expectations via Quest Best Learning in 3D Game Lab. As someone who did not spend a lot of time playing video games as a child, this was foreign territory for me. Despite the many challenges I was faced with, I took the plunge, created a Google Education Apps 3D Game Lab unit that I use with my students, and I've begun a Minecraft After School Club. With my interest in the use of multimedia and learning, and given the current trend in gaming education, I decided to take EdTech 597 as my final elective to complete the requirements for my master's. I find that this course takes into consideration the newfound knowledge I've developed in many of my previous courses and has me exploring gaming further. Each week I listen or take note of the advice given in the readings and videos watched. One of the most inspirational quotes shared with me so far in this course was, "Get into the game with your kids." I took this advice and began playing with my students. My students seemed so impressed that I wanted to play the games with them, and that I wanted to learn with them. Students also seemed to try harder to figure things out instead of always asking me what to do, once they saw that I too was learning with them. What I'm most proud of from this course is my continued curiosity and exploration to further my knowledge of gaming education. I've challenged myself this year not only to begin a Minecraft After School Club, but also to explore the various different programming and coding applications available. I've also begun working with other science and technology teachers to put together a successful pre-K to grade 12 STEM program for the school.
Love for sure will come with rain. Rain for sure will make it right.
Not only did I expand my knowledge by developing e-coursework in this master's program, but I also developed skills to become a reliable, bilingual information technology educator. These skills will allow me to develop materials that could benefit an international audience. I also adopted a paperless, cloud-based teaching approach. In addition, I've been introduced to effective tools on how to design and implement effective and efficient technology plans and programs for schools. In learning all of this, I've certainly met more people like myself who are excited to work with technology in the classroom.
In completing my Master's in Educational Technology at Boise State University, I've been provided with the groundwork to do what I do today. I've loved every minute of this journey, and I'm truly sad that it's actually almost over. I am thankful for the instruction I've received so far. This instruction has better prepared me in creating a learning environment where students continue to use technology to enhance their learning and be engaged. Furthermore, the learning experiences encountered on this journey have enabled me to bring similar learning experiences to life in my own classroom. I have always been excited about what I've learned about at BSU and using different technology tools. I feel that my excitement leads to others around me getting excited about learning and about using technology in their own classroom. I can proudly say that I accomplished the goals I set out to achieve and even more over this past 2.5 years. From here, I want to continue to teach technology and be an educational technology consultant. This path would include activities such as providing workshops, working one-on-one with teachers, teacher training, making sure things run smoothly at school in terms of use of technology, developing policies, and technology action plans for the school. I would also like to begin my doctorate in educational technology and slowly transition to teaching online, more specifically to teach teachers in educational technology courses that are similar to the ones that I took here during my journey at EdTech. Hopefully, after viewing this video, you have a better sense of the journey I've undertaken over the past 2.5 years. More importantly, you will have an idea of what this journey has allowed me to accomplish and how I intend to apply my newly gained skills and knowledge in the future. Thanks so much for watching.